figured that from the beginning. Everybody except that lesbian.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Don't Tell Mama. As a courtesy to the performer this evening, we ask that you take a moment to silence your cell phones, as well as any other electronic devices that may cause distraction during the performance. We must ask that there is no video or photography during the performance, and please, ladies and gentlemen, no texting during the performance. Thank you. And now please welcome to the stage, Bennett, Silverstein.
I haven't been up here that long, but you look so different from the guy I agreed to play for. I mean, it's my music director debut and my retirement party, and you're not even my client. Who are you, my friend? Oh, Harpo Marx. Well, back from the dead. You look fantastic, all things considered. Why don't you do me a favor? Do you know where Bennett is? Wonderful. Can you tell me where he is? Oh, geez. He's eating a salad. He's on 1,000 islands. He's dressing. He's asleep in the dressing room. Well, that's wonderful. It's probably because he's terrified. Tell him honestly I'm only playing one chord, so don't be afraid to come out. You can also tell him that when all else fails, I'm going to sing the piano part. I've already got it planned out. Nothing hard for me, just a couple of chords. So why don't you go get him? Just come on down to our make-believe dressing room downstage right here. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Oh, jeez. That's a good place for it. Oh, hello there. Would you like to do a program? Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage for the first or the second time, I'm not sure. We hope the one, the only, Bennett Silverstein!
I've got rhythm. I've got music. You've got Bennett, who could ask for anything more? I've got daisies in green pastures. You've got Bennett, who could ask for anything more? Got old man trouble, I don't mind him. You won't find him round my door. I've got starlight, I've got sweet dreams. You've got Bennett, who can ask for anything more? Who can ask for anything more? Good evening, everybody. Now, I know I was born to be Bennett, but I've enjoyed playing a few characters in my time, like Harpo Marx, another funny lady you're going to see later tonight, Lucille Ball, and a very famous opera star by the name of Melba Nevish. You'll meet her shortly. And another character I created, that of an old fruit tree. Gretchen tell you that and leave it there. Last time I did this show, it was my birthday that night. I'm still celebrating. This is a long birthday. And the very fact that you're all here tonight, despite not so good weather, there's a lot for me to celebrate about. It's sunny with never a sigh. Don't need what money can buy. Birds in the trees sing my day full of song. Why shouldn't we sing along? I'm chipper all the day, happy with my lot. How do I get that way? Look at what I've got. I've got rhythm, I've got music, and you've got Bennett. Who could ask for anything more? I've got daisies in green pastures. You've got Bennett. Who could ask for anything more? That old man trouble, I don't mind him. You will find him hanging around my front or back door. I've got starlight, I've got sweet dreams. You've got Bennett. Who could ask for anything more? Who could ask for anything more? Bennett! Thank you so much. Now, that funny looking guy you saw a few moments ago, I'll bet you all think, well, that's me. But I don't want you to believe that. If I asked you to believe that that guy you saw before was the real Harpo, could you do it? I want to show you something. This is one of my most prized possessions. This is a letter I received from Mrs. Susan Marks, who was Harpo's wife of 28 years. In this letter, Susan Marks said that one of the greatest needs in the world is just to know that as long as there is love and laughter in it, sanity will hold. And I'd like you all to believe that that was the real Harpo, because I'd like to believe that Harpo and all the other people who used to make us laugh are still with us. Now, a few years ago, I did a show about a famous performer who is still very much with us and who's still performing, Mr. Tony Bennett. And those of you who saw the show Bennett Sings Bennett might remember this number. I walk along the street of sorrow, top of on a broken tree, and jiggle, oh jiggle, let it be this without regret, and forget their broken tree. You'll laugh tonight and cry tomorrow, and behold your shattered schemes, and jiggle, oh jiggle, let it be, we can find the right over yours until a broken tree. Here done to me. Isn't that the habanera?
Well, it's supposed to be.
Oh, the habanera reminds me of an old friend of mine. Her name was Melba Devon. Melba wanted to be an opera star. Melba used to dress like this. Used to sing like this. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. Poor Melba. Wonder why she never made it. This is where you'll always find me, always walking up and down. Still I left my soul behind me in an old cathedral town. The gift is only yours to borrow. It doesn't last too long, it seems. And so sing along and dance along the boulevard of broken dreams. Some of my favorite composers used to write songs about the Old West. Johnny Mercer, Berlin, Concord. They all spoke to the inner cowboy, asking me. There always has been a cowboy in me. Just give me land, lots of land under starry skies above. Don't fence me in, let me ride through the wide open country that I love. about the Old West when he wrote the show, and you get your gun. Now, this song, really, when you think of it, really should have been written for cheap, silly bull. Incidentally, I played it and get Oh! He seems to know. Oh, my mother was frightened by a shotgun, they say. That's why I'm such a wonderful shot. I'd be out in the cactus and I'd practice all day. So now tell me, what have I got? I'm quick on the trigger with targets not much bigger than a pinpoint. I'm number one. But my score with a feller is lower than a cellar. You get a man with a gun. And I'm with a pistol. I sparkle like a crystal. Yes, I shine like the morning sun. But I lose all the luster when with a Bronco Buster. Oh, you can't get a man with a gun. With a gun. With a gun. Oh, you can't get a man with a gun. If I went to battle with a herd of breed of cattle, you'd have stick before the day was done. But if I shot the herder, they call her bloody murder. Oh, you can't get a nail in the tail like a whale. You can't get a man with a gun. Brave and daring to see a lion glaring when I'm out with my Remington. But a look from a mister to raise a fever blister. Oh, you can't get a man with a gun. Those guys with umbrellas are always out with fellas in the rain or the blazing sun. But a man never trifles with boys who carry rifles. So you can't get a man with a gun. With a gun. With a gun. Oh, you can't get a man with a gun. If I shot a rabbit, a furry girl would grab it for a hook that could warm someone. But you can't shoot your lover and use him as a cover. Oh, you can't give a hug to a mother with a slung. Oh, you can't get a man with a gun. With a gun. With a gun. Oh, you can't get a man with a gun. If I'm Dick or Harry, we'd build a house for Larry, and the future is made them one. But he can't build you houses with buckshot in his trousers. Oh, a man can be hot, but he's not when he's shot. Oh, you can't get a man with a gun. Now, how about a little Johnny Mercer?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yankees and the violate was here. They're a lead that argued up the state to the rear. Why, it was you corn, oh, and his pants blown off his seat. Way up in New York City, they talk a different style. Too busy making money, they ain't got time to smile. It was so doggone crowded, I felt so hemmed in there. I'm going back to Texas to get a breath of air. Oh, you're the lady got the blues. You're the lady just for you. You're the lady, it's the sweetest little home I ever knew. Oh, you're the lady feeling low. You're the lady, don't you know? You're the lady, oh, I sing the old lady, old blues. They talk a different language, they speak a different brand. While we say long delighted, they simply say how grand. We say things real early, they call the same thing chic. You may as well be talking in Italian or Greek. Oh, you're the lady got the blues. You're the lady just for you. You're the lady, it's the sweetest little home I ever knew. Oh, you're the lady feeling low. You're the lady, don't you know? You're the lady, oh, I sing the lady, old blues. That's a sign of ornery tenderfeet and a big bad buckaroo pass. I'm the toughest hombre you'll ever meet, although I may be the last. No siree, better than you agree. Yes siree, can't last long. That's a sign to ornery tenderfeet while I sing my song. I'm an old cowhand from the Rio Grande, and the things they move, and the cheeks ain't hand. I'm a cowboy who never saw a cow, never wrote to hear, or I don't know how. Or ain't looking to start it now. Yippee-i-oh-ki-yay, yippee-i-oh-ki-yay. I'm an old cowhand from the Rio Grande, and I learned to ride, for I learned to stand. I'm a ride fool who is up to date, so if we trail in the Lone Star State, ride the range in a 48, yippee-i-oh-ki-yay, yippee-i-oh-ki-yay.
Bennett?
I'm not Bennett right now.
Oh, Lord help me. You know, whose idea was it to put so much extra BS in this show? All right, I'll bite. Who are you?
You Lucille McGillicuddy.
Oh, wow. For those of you playing along at home, that was Lucille McGillicuddy.
You're a rebel.
Of course I am. It's always the chubby one that gets stuck with Ethel. Oh, yeah. You guys are great. You just keep doing that. You know, Vivian Vance actually had to have it in her contract, but she kept a little weight on, so I feel like she did. Hang on a second. I'm no longer Gretchen. That's something new. All right. Right on. Hit it, Lucy. Oh, you wanted me to say something else? All right, hang on. Let's go back to this. Okay, Lucy.
Yeah.
Did you know
Many years ago, a friend of mine asked me, Bennett, if you ever wrote your autobiography, what would the title be? And I chose this song, and it fits.
Wow. And again.
When an irresistible force such as you meets an old immovable object like me, you can't bet as sure as you live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give. When an irrepressible smile such as yours warms an old implacable heart such as mine, don't say no because I insist. Somehow, somewhere, someone's gonna be pissed. So one time, who knows what the fates have in store from their vast, mysterious sky. I try hard, ignoring those lips I adore. But how long can anyone try? So fight, 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 fight it with all your might. Chances are, heavenly star-spangled night, we'll find out as sure as we live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give. The man who wrote this song, Johnny Mercer, wasn't only a great composer, he also wanted to be an actor. Now, I can relate to that. I always wanted to be an actor. I finally got my chance a few years ago working with a wonderful group of people called the Narrows Community Theater. And I've really done some great shows, but maybe my biggest thrill was when I played Chief Sitting Bull in Annie Get Your Gun. I got such great reviews. I waited all my life to get that kind of recognition. I just guess something just had to give. So on God, who knows what the fates have in store from their vast, mysterious sky. I try hard, ignoring those lips I adore. But how long can anyone try? So fight, 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 fight it with all your might. Chances are, when heavenly star-spangled night, we'll find out as sure as we live. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give. Something's gotta give, something's gotta give, something's gotta give. Silverstein, keep on rival star. Something's gotta give, both hilarious and sober. Something's gotta give, so convincing it's hard to believe I'm from Brooklyn. Something's gotta give. Wow. Now, when I found out that Narrows was going to be doing South Pacific, I said, oh, I just gotta be in that. But who would I play? I knew I couldn't be Emile Bebek. You need an operatic voice for that, you know. Some enchanted evening. I figured I'd let Melba Nevish take that part. And I knew I couldn't be Lieutenant Cable. You need a younger guy for that. You know, in Act 1, he picks the girl Leah up in his arms, like this. I couldn't have done that when I was his age. In fact, she could have picked me up. So I figured my best bet, why not try for the part of that scheming schlubby CB, Luther Billis. couldn't believe I got the part. As thrilling as playing Phyllis was, my biggest thrill came at the end of the Sunday matinee. I went out into the audience to greet the guests. A young man with Down syndrome walked up to me and said, "I loved you." You live for moments like that. Now when he told me what his favorite part of the show was, I told him it was mine too. My dog is as dainty as a sparrow. Her figure is something to applaud. Where she's narrow as an arrow. And she's broad, where a broad should be broad. 101 pounds of fun. That's my little honey bun. Get a load of honey bun tonight. I'm speaking of my sweetie pie, only 60 inches high. Every inch is packed with dynamite. Her hair is blonde and curly. Her curls are hurly-burly. Her lips are hips. I call her hips. Baby, I'm her app, I'm her booby, she's my trap. I am caught, don't wanna run, but I'm having so much fun with Honey Bun. She's my baby, I'm her app, I'm her booby, she's my trap. Don't wanna run, but I'm having so much fun with Honey Bun. Believe me, Sonny, she's a cookie who can hook you till you're done. Ain't being funny, Sonny, put your money on my Honey Bun. After I did South Pacific and Annie Get Your Gun, they did a new show. It was called The Most Miserable Christmas Tree. Now, there wasn't a single principal part I could have taken. So, I agreed to take an ensemble part. Now, after you played Luther Billis, Chief Sitting Bull, you can imagine how frustrating it is to just be ensemble. You know when I really felt it? In that tap dancing scene. They're all on stage and they're tap dancing and I'm backstage and you don't know how much I wanted to be with them. You know, I can still do it, you know. I might be a sexagenarian, but I'm a sexy sexagenarian. During that tap dancing scene, I created a character I could have played. And it was an old fruit tree. And before I knew it, I actually wrote this tree a song. Now, this is how the scene I created. This is how it happens. They're tap dancing, they're making noise in the forest, they're waking up all the trees in the forest. And they're waking up this old fruit tree, and he says, "Have you no consideration for my beauty sleep? You woke me up out of a sound sleep." So they're all apologizing to him. And one of them makes the mistake of calling him an old tree. If there's anything this tree hates, it's being called an old tree. He says, "Old? You call me old? Want to see how old I am? Taste my fruit." Come on, it's June. I just made it. Come on, try it. Pretty good, huh? I'll bet you're surprised. My fruit's that good. I can't believe you show surprise. My fruit is sweet and tasty. To judge a tree by how it looks is foolhardy and hasty. So don't ever try to deride me. Do you know what's cooking inside me? Watch my branches swinging. Can't you hear me singing? There's still a lot of life left in this tree. Everybody reaches for my golden peaches. Nobody wants stale peaches. There's still a lot of life left in this tree. When we are born, the plant starts to sprout some tiny seeds. We grow until we give old Mother Nature what it needs. If I started dancing, better yet romancing, then every little young tree will agree that this tree really autumn. You should see me in autumn. There's still a lot of life left in this tree. People look at me, they think I'm just a piece of wood. What's wrong with that? They don't know what we mean to brother and to sisterhood. What's with all the scaring? Just because I'm sharing a life that's joyous, happy and carefree. So tell the weeping willow that I don't need a pillow. There's still a lot of life left. It's more places my wife left. What do you want? I'm a homosexual man playing a heterosexual tree. There's still a lot of life left in this tree. And now, one of my favorites of Johnny Mercer. So you met someone and now you're back on your heels. Goody, goody. So you met someone and now you know how it feels. Goody, goody. So you gave him your heart too, just as I gave mine to you. And he broke it in little pieces. Well, how do you do? Though you lie awake just singing the blues all night. Goody, goody, till you still think love's a barrel of dynamite. Hooray and hallelujah, yeah, I'm coming to ya. Goody, goody, goody for him. Goody, goody for me. I hope you're satisfied, you rascal, you. You said there wasn't a lesson in loving that you hadn't learned. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You thought you could keep on playing with fire without getting burned. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So you met someone and now you're back on your heels. Goody, goody. Oh, you met someone and now you know how it feels. Goody, goody. Oh, you gave him your heart too, just as I gave mine to you. And he stuffed it in his collection, section 92. So you lie awake, singing the blues all night. Goody, goody, do you still think love's a barrel of dynamite? Hooray and hallelujah, you had it coming to ya. Goody, goody for him, goody, goody for me. I hope you're satisfied, you rascal, you. Goody, goody for him. Goody, goody for me. I hope you're satisfied, you rascal, you.
Yeah, Phil Bennett.
And here's from my Tony Bennett show. You know, when I did Tony Bennett, I performed with Lady Gaga and by
Yeah,
Pop.
Gaga, hang on. Oh, no. Hey, it's too good not to do. Yeah, thank you, Lori. Thank you, Lori Krause. We've got help from everybody, Bennett.
Yeah.
That kind of night.
By popular demand, Lady Gaga's back, you know.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you ready? Should we do a song?
Oh, I think that would be very nice, Lady
Oh,
Gaga.
all right, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4.
She gets too hungry for dinner at 8.
I'm starved.
Loves the theater, never comes late.
I never bother with people that I hate. Why, this chick is a tramp.
Won't go to pot games with barons or earls.
No girls. I won't go to Harlem in arguments and pearls. And I definitely won't dish the dirt with the rest of them girls.
Thank you.
No.
That's why the lady is a tramp.
I love your free, fresh wind in your hair.
My hair, life without care.
Well, I'm so broke.
It's so.
I hate California. It's crowded and damn.
Why the lady is a tramp.
I go to Coney Island and
The beach is
oh,
divine,
yes, it is. I love the Yankees.
and Cheetah's just fine.
I follow rush with cars.
Reads every
Yes,
line.
I do. That's
What?
why the lady is a tramp. I love prize fights.
That isn't a fake.
No fake. I love to rowboat with you and your wife in Central Park Lake.
I have a wife. She sees the opera. Stays wide awake.
Yes, I do.
That's why loves the green grass under her shoes.
What can I lose? 'Cause I got no dough.
Oh no.
I'm all alone when they lower my lamb.
That's why the lady has a crown. Go! Babadoo, 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 babadoo,
But that's alright, you make one hell of a Tony Bennett.
And you make one hell of a Lady Gaga.
Really? Oh,
Uh-huh.
Tony. In the shadows, in the shadows, in the shadows. Sorry, I can't actually see. We're far from the shallow now.
I've never even heard of this song.
I love your free grass. I love your handkerchief in my hair.
Life without care.
I'm so broke.
It's so hate California. It's crowded and damp. That's why the lady is a crown. That's why the lady is a crown.
You need to fire your director, Bennett.
When I was 14 years old, I went to see my very first Broadway show. It was called Walking Happy. It was the story of a very timid bootmaker. Very good at what he did. He didn't believe in himself. Until one day, someone comes along and makes him believe. You can tell of the manner of a man by the shape of his head, has been said. You can tell if his character is grand by a line in his hand. I understand. But my own manner of judging people I meet is by the way they use the shoes on their feet. There's the kind of walk you walk when the world's undone you. There's the kind of walk you walk when you're walking proud. There's the kind of walk you walk when the neighbors shun you. There's the kind of walk you walk sets you above the crowd. There's the kind of walk you walk when you feel like throwing. There's the kind of walk you walk when you're on your way. There's the kind of walk you walk when your pride is showing. There's the kind of walk you walk when today's your day. There's the kind of walk you walk when the world's a rainbow and your heart's popping like a popinjay. Good fortune found shabby, and you're like a happy Valentine. When you're walking happy, the blooming world seemed fine. When I saw that show, I realized I was that bootmaker. I started thinking, maybe even I could shine. And then years later, I met someone who made me believe I could do a show like this. We became great friends. And then one night, I went to my friend Richard Holt's show. And the following day, he listed all the people in the world of cabaret who were at his show. I looked, and I saw, and I said, what's my name doing up there? He's including me in the same group with all those people. Me? Me? Now I know what walking happy is really about. There's a kind of walk you'll walk when the world's a rainbow, and your heart's popping like a poppin' J. Good fortune got me chappy. Now I like the happy Valentine, 'cause I'm walking happy, holding hand in mine, holding hand in mine, holding your hand in mine. Thank you all for coming tonight. I love each and every one of you, but with every show, there are always special people that you have to thank. Like on Lights and Sound, Allison Nussbaum. The lady who's been serving you your drinks tonight, Randy. And the man who books the show at Don't Tell Mama and is a magnificent performer himself, Mr. Sidney. On the drums, Don Kelly. On the bass, Hilliard Green. My musical director, Andrew David Sotomayor. Unfortunately, because of a last-minute conflict, could not play tonight. And we found this out. Now, some of you who might have come to the last show remembered we were very, very lucky to have had the services of Tracy Stark, but with Tracy out of town, it turns out I'm the lucky one. I'm the lucky one. Because tonight, my director is also my musical. When 9 days ago, I assured her she was going to be drop dead perfect tonight. She was, she always is. Please give a wonderful hand for my director, Gretchen Reinhagen. And now, for my ballad. a pair. Me here at last on the ground, you in midair, send in the clouds. Isn't it bliss? Don't you approve? One who keeps tearing around, one who can't move. But where are the clouds? Send in the clouds. Just when I stopped opening doors, finally knowing the one that I wanted was yours, making my entrance again with my usual flair, sure of my lines, no one is there. Don't you love farce? My fault, I fear. I thought that you want what I want. Sorry, my dear. But where are the clouds? Quick, send in the clouds. Don't bother, they're here. Isn't it rich? Isn't it queer? Losing my timing this late in my career. But where are the clouds? There ought to be clouds. Don't well, maybe next year. All right, now for a little test. How many of you believe that the funny-looking guy you saw before was the real Harpo Marx?
Yeah.
Now, nothing wrong with that. Take that movie, the one they show every year on television around Thanksgiving, Christmas. It's a Wonderful Life. That's the story of the angel who comes down from heaven to show the man that he lives a wonderful life. Now, everyone knows that doesn't happen in real life, but every time we watch that movie, we believe. Now, a year and a half ago, Narrows Community Theater did the musical version of It's a Wonderful Life. It was called A Wonderful Life. No one auditioned for the role of Mr. Potter. Who wants to play a bad guy? No one wanted that part, including me. But someone had to play him. Who do you think they asked? And now, the same thing happened to me in this one that happened to me in The Most Miserable Christmas Tree. Because in the final scene, they're all on stage singing about the gift of life and the gift of love, with the exception of Mr. Potter. Now, wouldn't bother Mr. Potter, but there I was, backstage, all by myself, and I said, oh, how can I get out on stage with those people, even if I am Mr. Potter? Now, many of you have ever seen the Saturday Night Live version of It's a Wonderful Life. In this version, Uncle Billy suddenly remembers Potter's got the money. And they all go to his house, they all find the money, they all knock him out of his wheelchair, and they start kicking him. Now, you can't do that in music. Especially with me playing Potter. So, I figured up a way that I could get Potter on that stage. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce all of you to the Saturday Night Live musical version of It's a Wonderful Life, where Uncle Billy goes, George, I remember what happened to the money. Potter's got it. They all go to his house. They find the money. The sheriff says, Mr. Potter, I have a warrant for your arrest. And George Bailey says, well, Potter, it looks as if you're the one who's going to jail. And Uncle Billy, who hates Potter's guts, says, well, Potter, what do you have to say for yourself? And Potter, defiant to the end, says, you want to know what I have to say for myself? I'll tell you what I have to say for myself. Every time I hear that catchy syncopation, I wonder where it began. Was it in the north? Was it in the south? Tell me, someone, if you can. Was it in Charleston, West Virginia, where they created that Herzegovinian joy? Was it in Charleston, Mississippi, where it originated? Or was it Charleston, Illinois? So many Charlestons in the country, it gets confusing. There must be 48. Which state has the claim to fame? I don't know what state to blame, but Charleston. But oh, you Charleston, you have surely got me in a state. Which state has the claim to fame? I don't know what state to blame, but Charleston. Lord, oh, you Charleston, you have surely got me in a. You have surely got me in a state.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bennett Silverstein.
You know, I thanked a group of people before, but before we wrap up, there's a thing that I really want to thank. It's a thing, but it's a very important thing. I want to thank the gift of laughter. You know, I've always loved clowns, like Harpo and Lucy and Howdy Doody. I think clowns are important. I don't know if we would ever be able to survive without laughter, and we need it now more than ever. Live at 5, CNN, keep us all abreast of breaking stories that can tend to make you anxious and depressed. Problems with no answers hang on like some chronic cough. And every day some brand new issue rears its head to piss you off. Bad guys win, optimism's wearing thin, things are spinning out of control. Cynicism is the fad. World events could make us mad as hatters. Almost every day, some underpinning slips away. These aren't laughing matters. Time bombs tick. People keep on getting sick, and a nickel's not worth a cent. Wickedness and greed abound. Just when peace is gaining ground, it shatters. Hate is here to stay, and justice goes to those who pay. Friend, these aren't laughing matters. The truth is scarier by far than anything that Stephen King could write. The stories in the paper are the daily small decline and fall spelled out in black and white. What to do, how to take a brighter view when your noodles totally fried. Human spirits need to be leavened by some levity. So take the blues and bounce them off the wall. Keep your humor, please, 'cause don't you know it's times like these when laughing matters most of all.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Bennett Silverstein.